This is America, and this is what if America formed an empire. I am new to this content. If you like it, please subscribe, and like, I don't know, you don't gotta, but America only has really two neighbors to attack here. They have either Canada or Mexico. And what they do have a different neighbor over here is the sea route, the Bahamas, which we're gonna attack first. The Bahamas really realistically don't stand a chance. So the Americans are gonna send their navy down to Florida and then just start taking over all of the sea next to the Bahamas. I don't really know how naval battles work, but yeah, so the Americans are just gonna take over all of the sea near the Bahamas, and then we're gonna start naval landing over here, over everywhere, all over the islands of the Bahamas. And that's it for the Bahamas. So let's see a peace treaty. America annexes all of it. America annexes all of it. So anyways, after this, America's gonna start an invasion of the entire Caribbean. So we're gonna start an invasion of the Caribbean. We're gonna launch an attack on Cuba, launch a naval invasion. We're gonna launch a naval invasion from Puerto Rico onto the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and then we're just gonna keep invading until eventually they have made the Dominican Republic surrender, and then they made Haiti surrender, and then Cuba, after holding out for a while, would surrender to the American forces just stomping their island. Jamaica would also fall afterwards, and then let's just see the peace treaty. America annexes all of it! Oh, I forgot the border there. The Rio Pact would gain more members, and it's just realistic after seeing the American invasion. And it would just be like all of the South American countries and Central American countries who are scared of it. Oh, except for French Guiana. I don't think France would want to join. So yeah, we have our first major alliance down here, which would stop America's path of expansion here. So then they turn north. And then that's when they just... Oh, what the heck happened? Okay. So then they turn north to Canada. America would attack Canada, and then NATO would appear to protect Canada. Okay, so then NATO would appear to attack Canada. So NATO would appear to help Canada. Flip. Okay, hold up. So then NATO would appear to help Canada in its against America. Okay, well, so NATO would appear to help America against. NATO would appear to help Canada, and sorry Canadians, but I think America might make you their 51st state. Yeah, sorry about that. So, On the west coast, there would be fighting, the Americans trying to take over Vancouver Island and try and link up with Alaska in order to make sure Alaska couldn't fall, even if the Canadians tried to attack it, which they probably wouldn't. I think Canada would mostly be on a defense mode, so I don't think they would. Anyway, so Vancouver Island, it was taken, and then the Canadian west coast was also taken. Alberta, which would decide to rebel, or at least the people who wanted to be a part of America would rebel, seeing this as the opportunity to declare war and regain and join America without America having to stampede their part of their state. America would keep invading the West as to link up with all the Albertans, and then they would make a pretty huge front line against the Canadians. I'm pretty sure there would be some pushback from Canada in like Minnesota, maybe Wisconsin. Then again, it would literally just get pushed back again. There's not really any point to that. Over here in the majority of populace of Canada, America would start to invade, getting most of our majority cities, and then reaching across the Great Lakes to take over all of the Great Lakes, with their multiple borders there. And then eventually most of the Canadian population would be taken. It would be occupied. Canada after this would probably surrender. Yeah, it would surrender. So then after this, NATO didn't really know what to do after the occupation of French Guiana, as it was only European nations, and then America decided to make a deal with NATO, as if they would give America Greenland and Iceland, so then they didn't get taken over. As America could definitely take them over if this was a long war, but I really doubt the Europeans would want to be taken over by America. So let's look at the peace treaty. Alright, so let's now take a closer look at the peace treaty. These are now the borders of America, taking over most of Canada, took over Greenland and Iceland. They also decided to take a leap across the Atlantic and take over Scotland, Northern Ireland, Brittany, and Galicia / I guess Northern Portugal. They decided to also make a puppet in Quebec. I don't know why. They took French Guiana, and they made Europe itself. They made Europe very economically dependent on America, and just more closer to being puppeted, or just like part of America than like the rest of the world, I guess. I don't know how to word it. So now this is America. This is America and their empire. They have really only one way to go, and that's south to the Rio Pact. And of course that like most of the Americas are under it. So America is gonna have a hard time to attack the South America. But they have something to clear up first. Ireland. With Ireland just being here, America is just gonna take the advantage and take over Ireland. Sorry, Ireland. And now with Ireland now taken over, they're just gonna be straight up annexed into America. Okay, so now that that's over, America has another place to go. Liberia. Now, I mean, technically Liberia wasn't an American colony, It was set up by freed African Americans or something. But they're gonna get taken over, because, I don't know. Anyways, so after Liberia is taken over, they're just straightly annexed into America. And then, the Rio Pact. So America would declare war on the Rio Pact. With the advantage of being prepared more than the Rio Pact, they would start advancing into Mexico. Now, with the mountains over here in Mexico, they would avoid it by going towards the coast. They would make invasions into Baja California, Sonora, Chihuahua, and other places in Mexico that I don't really know. Sorry, Mexico. But they would start invading more and more, till the point that as they kept going more, it took more of a Rio Pact soldiers went up in Mexico and made a solid defense line in sovereign Mexico. But although now the rest of Mexico would be completely lost to America. They would start a new invasion in French Guiana and the Caribbean, seeing that it would be better to have more front lines against the Rio Pact. French Guiana would attack and declare, or American Guyana, would now start invading their neighbors and just full on making sure that America could win. Liberia, the American Liberia would attack Brazil, and more naval invasions would pop up as America got more and more aggressive. With the Rio Pact getting more and more attacked, more and more countries would want to try and sue for peace before America could get to them. These countries included Chile, Argentina, Bolivia, and Uruguay and Paraguay, as they decide to sue for peace and them not wanting to be a part of this. Peru would also sign for peace, seeing that it was not their time and they didn't want to die, or they didn't want to get captured. Colombia would try and keep on, but with limited resources and American soldiers knocking at the front door, they would eventually fall. Same with Venezuela and Guyana and Ecuador. Brazil, being all alone, would sign for peace, and then let's see how this peace treaty would go. And that concludes the war against Rio Pact, where America would let Brazil go off a bit lightly, with only just taking this part here, and mostly just asking for war reparations and stuff like that. They would make a puppet Gran Colombia. And they would annex these Caribbean islands, Guyana, Suriname. And then over here they would annex Costa Rica and Panama, the Ecuadorian islands over here. They would annex northern Mexico, make a puppet of South Mexico and Central America. And yeah, that's really the American Empire there. So that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really helps a lot. You don't have to though. It's your choice. I mean, subscribing's always free. I mean, I'm the one who said it. I said it. Anyways, goodbye everyone. Hope to see you in the next video.